Hello and welcome. We have returned. Hi, Sean, Jen, Fabian, Sean. How's it going? I'm back with the boys. Hello, Alex and Giovanni.
What's going on?
How are you fellas doing?
I'm doing good.
Pretty good.
What have we been watching in this 2 weeks since we've last seen everybody? What have you guys been watching? Those of you who are watching us.
I've got an echo. Okay, there we go. What the fuck have I started? I did. Well, of course, I started the Fallout. Of course, I got like 2 more episodes and I'm done.
We haven't even started it yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
There was some other shit that I've been watching throughout the week, and I wrote it down, but my list is over there so I can remember. But I'm sorry, fucked it up.
I've been watching a lot of documentaries. So I recently just watched one on 4chan, which was really good. Yeah, apparently it's on Netflix. Apparently the documentary says that 4chan got Trump into office and also started the January 4th movement. That's the way they portrayed it. It's not true. Like,
if it's our documentary is supposed to be truth. Like if I'm watching a documentary, right, I'm going to assume that the people that took the time to collect said quote unquote data they had and present it to us in film form did their fucking research. Like, why do we have to second think that? Like, shouldn't a document like David Attenborough? He goes, "Oh, the pelican flies over and it does this and it eats some of this," and there is no questioning. It's not like you can Google it and go, "Hey man, pelicans don't do that." Like, they did their fucking research before he read shit. You know what I mean?
It's just what the way it presents it is like, okay, it's a documentary about 4chan. 4chan's their people are crazy, and they went crazy during the January incident and during Trump's victory. So the people who are doing documentary were like, well, they believe it, so let's just present it that way. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
A documentary about 4chan and the right-wing Nazi underbelly and Trump. It's like, all right. Can we talk about current issues?
Or do they call him Orange Man?
How about, here's a documentary, how the United States of America's president has us in 2 separate proxy wars trying to start a third with China. How about we have a documentary about that? How about we have a documentary about the bridge collapse? How about we have other documentaries where there's actual fucking data? Like, can we get off of Trump? Like, I get it, he's running again, so now it's like back in the news and relevant, and they hate Trump. Basically, Trump to the Democrats.
The media loves Trump.
Well, Trump to the Democrats is like Thanos, right? He's over here like collecting cabinet members, like, oh shit, he's got so-and-so on his team. Fuck! You know, they're like, it's just a weird, like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not even going to talk about the equations to Hitler. We're just going to go full movie. Like, for whatever reason, he's a total 80s villain to the Dems.
Where do we lose Sean at, Sean? Where do we lose you?
It's been a wild ride already, and we're only 8 minutes in, and that includes intro time. Yeah, I'm just over like the whole. I mean, shit's got to change from where we are. Like, we know, like, I would like to think most people with common sense know that, and it's like, because the way our political system is, basically, our current government is going, "Oh, you don't like this guy? Yeah, we're gonna run him again." And then it's like, "Oh, you don't like this guy? He's running again too." Like, that's really, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, do you want the 2-seater Mini Cooper or the 2-seater Fiat? It's like, I'm fat, neither. Like, can I have?
I can't believe Biden's running again.
Well, the people who control his control box are running him again.
When they get to debate, he's just going to be in a chair dead, and they're going to be like, Biden? Oh no, he's good. He's got a pass. Just let him be.
Weekend at Bernie's is gonna fucking become live.
I want to see that debate where Trump's just like, look at him, doesn't even know where he is. And Trump's like, you don't know that, Jack! And he's just like screaming, like Biden's just losing his fucking mind. Trump's like, I'm not even gonna say anything.
Come on, man!
Yeah, you got weak bones, Trump! And Trump's just like, I don't even need I say more? Do we need another tin hat doc? Well, that's what they kind of all are, right? Like, they all start off as like, we're going to expose the underbelly, and then it's like, agenda, and they all kind of take that right turn, and it's just like what document, like, even, I haven't watched it yet, but that documentary that's everybody's watching right now, that Quiet on the Set.
Yeah.
That one was messed up.
Here's the thing, right? Nothing is happening, though. Like Dan Schneider went and did an interview, and he's just like, "Sorry if your kid felt like that was inappropriate." Like, want to see a good one? Watch the Alex Jones trial on Max. Oh Jesus!
Why did you tag me with it though? Is that what happened there?
No, it's Alex Jones.
No, but it highlighted the name Alex in orange, like if it was tagging me.
The only thing
just want to say, Your Honor, this is bullshit. You can't hit me with truth. Frogs are gay.
That quiet on set thing. The one guy from the show Jake and whatever.
Oh, Jake and Josh.
Jake and Josh.
Yeah, Jake and Josh. Jake, the one who plays Jake, who got sexually molested. Yeah. Spoiler alert. He comes out, right? And Josh is like, I support you, man. You tell your truth. Josh's wife in real life is like, I'm divorcing you because I know that you took money to stay quiet, so fuck you. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is getting better.
Has South Park done an episode on this yet?
Is that what happens in the 5th episode?
No, this was like no. He showed support initially, like I think on social media to Drake, and then Josh's wife, like separately on social media, was like, "No, you took hush money. You're just as bad as they are. I'm fucking divorcing you." Which is just isn't this whole thing weird?
It is. It's
like isn't this all like it's now that it's in an HBO documentary, why I oughta. It's just, come on, this shit happened 30 fucking years ago. Like, why are these people already not strung up by their genitalia? All of them. Like, enough. Stop pretending like you don't know who they are. I guarantee you, if you're in a boardroom and there's one of them in there, everybody in that fucking room knows which one it is. Stop playing. I think you have to say SA so you don't get in trouble. So was it sexual assault?
Yeah, you can't say things like that. But I think those are the people that are collecting money for their shows.
You can't even say sexual assault anymore?
Nope.
Oh yeah, you can't.
They say SEG or really? SEGG, yeah.
So I can't
or they say the letters SA.
So like what is off the table? Like, can I say Dan Schneider is allegedly a pedophile motherfucker? Is that okay?
I think because he threw allegedly in there, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover us. That allegedly he did a lot of stuff to children that shouldn't have happened behind the scenes, allegedly. I can't say that?
SA, San Antonio, South America? That's what Sean said.
Yeah, dude, fuck these.
It can be a lot of different things, man.
I'm done with code words. I speak English and bad English. Fuck off. Sorry you got SA'd. How are we all gone down to the child level? Like, that's what children do. That's what you do to children.
You can't say JEWS. You can't say that anymore because then you get in trouble.
This is the same thing of like with kids. You go, no, you say heck. You don't say hell. You say heck. It's like, I didn't lie, I fibbed. No, you fucking lied.
We've reverted back to how my father talks when he's around my kids, when he starts spelling letters out. I'm like, my kids fucking spell, Dad.
This is goofy. It's just goofiness, and it's infecting everything. And there will be a point, like you do have your outliers, like you do have people like Dave Chappelle. Oddly enough, J.K. Rowling and I don't agree politically at all, historically speaking. However, I'm right with her in her opinion on what she feels it is to be a woman, because that's what it is essentially. It's how her opinion on what it feels to be a woman and how she feels certain things in certain communities are diminishing that. Sean, I think you say supposedly a child had a bad date with his 40-year-old babysitter. I mean,
that's a good one, Sean.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, I like how it's like, no, YouTube's going to censor everybody talking out against this, which is essentially what it is, right? Like, you're demonetized if you don't say SA.
But it's on Twitch, too, and Kick and all that shit that you have to say SA.
Fuck, dude, I'm going to get fucking banned at some point. I'm not even going to be on Kick. I'll be on Rumble. Yeah, I can say shit here, right? Fuck.
Well, you could go live on X now, because that's what WWE's doing.
Oh, yeah, go live. There. Everybody wants to go on Twitter, the worst platform ever for viewing video, to view a 3-hour-long stream. That's hey, don't go off the page at all, because then it resets and you can't fast forward or rewind.
Or go on TikTok, where you can see only this part of the widescreen.
Okay, and Kick is literally like, I tell you right now, and this is hypocritical, Kick is degenerate gamblers going on that website, and they're trying to alert children to it. But if Kick was like, hey, we'll pay you $30,000 a month, but you have to do 2 gambling streams a month, I'd be like, I mean, I like blackjack.
Okay.
I enjoy some cards. I can do that. Like
play some Keno
whatever.
or
Dude,
Plinko.
I was one of the streamers I watch on Twitch just started his kick. So I was like, I support him here. I'll just jump over for the day and check there. Dude, I hit Kick's homepage and it's gamble, gamble, porno, gamble, gamble, political talk. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What you do is
what is
you
happening?
pull up 5 different windows and you let the audios from all 5 go at once. It's going to be a trippy experience, but it'll work.
I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
The trick is to get the girl in the porn to come at the same time you hit the grand in the slots on the gambling stream, and then it's magic. That got off on a weird tangent.
You got both sounds going. Bleep, bleep, and then,
I don't know what I'm gonna do with Twitch, because every now and then I also slip up and I'm like gay, and that's that's gonna be taken as hate speech or some shit at some point. I don't know. I'm so low profile that people haven't started bitching about me yet. So we'll see what happens.
Dude, all it takes is one. You get one person.
I mean, here's the thing.
Matt would suck that gambling teat so quick for some cash.
If Kick was like, hey, we want you to stream exclusively on Kick with whatever audience you could bring for $30K a month, God, I'd be like, hey, everybody, don't forget this fucking Thursday's gambling stream. I hope you degenerates are ready. That's exactly how I'd fucking phrase it. Why not? They know who they are. You're gambling on a fucking
Marvel
Twitch
racing,
stream.
And we're going to bet on Marvel racing.
It's mind-blowing how much money. I was watching a streamer earlier on this year who's probably had like 200 subscribers on Twitch, but he played a game I like, professionally. Then he's like, hey, every Friday, I'm going to start gambling. And I was like, I don't want to see that shit. He stopped playing the game and started gambling. Now he has like tens of thousands of followers. Well, he probably makes thousands of dollars.
The ignorant truth about the platforms is nobody wants to admit is Twitch is the best streaming platform. YouTube is for gaming. YouTube is not the best streaming platform for gaming. There's no differential in the YouTube streaming. If I want to stream a video game or stream this podcast, there is nothing that differentiates the streams besides whatever work I put into a layout. There is no like YouTube gaming, for instance. It's all garbage. The only benefits of streaming to YouTube is you have automatic backups of every one of your streams that go into your library, and you don't have to worry about you can download them if you want, but they're always going to be in your YouTube library. Kick it feels cheap. Kick feels like the Kmart version of Twitch, right? Where like they were like, or like a Chinese Amazon product where it's like, nah, man, this looks just like earpods, and then you open it up and it's run by a tiny hamster on a wheel. You know what I mean? It's like, Wish. Yeah, Temu, Wish, like that's what Kick feels like to me. TikTok is a Chinese spyware. I don't understand how anybody's like. If I think TikTok, I think stupid shit like that NPC trend that was going on. I don't think
yum.
Yeah, like TikTok to me is literally like, hey, if you want to try to get children hooked on your content and let the Chinese take your facial scans, TikTok's the way to go. I don't know. For me, Twitch for gaming is just better. I could go to YouTube. It's just. YouTube it's YouTube. There's no difference between an asshole uploading a video of him opening spaghetti and eating it in a can than there is me streaming on Twitch, and that's the exact algorithm. At least on Twitch.
You think that would get any views?
Yeah, probably. Some fat.
We should do that.
So I guarantee you, I'd get more views with a video of me without my glasses on, acting like I'm more on the spectrum than I already am, warming up SpaghettiOs, than I get for content I work hard on. That's
and then make sure you crush some Doritos on top.
Yeah, here's my recipe for spaghetti-o taco. And then, fucking 3,000 views later, I'm over here sitting in my chair going, looks like this how I talk now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. And that's the problem, right? If you do a video like that and then it hits, you're locked. If you want to continue any of it, like you're stuck playing,
You have to do that,
yeah. And that's...
You have to do it forever.
You're Ben Stiller in fucking Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. You can't go here. Oh, that's another. Can't say that. I mean, what words can you say? Like, there's got to be some insults we're still allowed to say, right? Like, can I still call people a motherfucking cocksucker?
You can call people crackers.
But nobody cares.
Because nobody cares.
Even crackers don't care. White people are like, it's...
You can call people Karens.
You can call people hillbillies, Karens. Oh, no, Karens. People are taking offense.
It's now got racial connotation, yeah, because it's white.
Yeah, they're calling them Brendas now. They're calling people Brendas now too.
How about we start getting really specific? We'll have some Brendas, some Karens, some Shaniquas, some Rajesh. Let's get them all in there. Let's figure it out. Not in Scotland. Scotland and Ireland are going through some interesting shit. There's been a lot of videos coming out of Ireland of Irish dudes like fist fighting migrants and be like, just fucking Ireland, wrong country. They're all just like Conor McGregor's. It's fucking crazy. Like they all just walk around angry and drunk. It's kind of like it.
Drinking proper 12.
I don't want to go visit Ireland. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, we are here to review some stuff. Some shit. 3 things, actually, technically. Well, 2 episodes of Shogun and the movie Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. We'll start with the episodes of Shogun, episodes 7 and 8. In all honesty, 2 of the slower episodes of the season.
At the end of slower. 7, though, it kicked it up a bit.
Well, there's so much build. Like this, like these like episodes, I feel like 6, 7, and 8 have just been a tremendous build. And the next, like, once we get to Crimson Sky, that's obviously going to be a pretty crazy episode. But I just constantly want to see, like, how they're going to end the season, right? Because if this is based off of, like, the Last Samurai story, when does the barbarian become full tilt? You know, he's getting better in Japanese. Like, when does that come to fruition? And there's only 10 episodes, so we've got 2 more.
2 more left, yeah.
So it's like, fuck, man. Like, is it going to be a season 2 thing where he, you know, or like, what are we doing here?
Here's the question I heard. So you said they were slow. If you actually didn't have to worry about reading the captions, would you still think it was slow, or would you think there was a bit more of a, like, interesting?
Well, no, I didn't mean it was slow as in nothing happened. Like, no, that's the thing is, like,
it's just like slow paced.
The pacing's slow, but a lot. I mean, it's a lot of dialogue and a lot of story and a lot of, like, within these 2 episodes, you know, and once again, guys, full spoilers. You essentially see Toranaga give up, but there's always
reunited, grieving and then giving up. Or we're grieving up, then grieving.
But the show does a great
giving up, like.
Well, the show does a great job because the constantly, like, even his own men are like, no, he's up to something.
Yeah.
And so you're, as the audience, are like, oh no, he's got to be up to something. And then he's just like, no, I want to die. And it's like, oh fuck. And it, like, and then how episode 8 ended with his best friend, closest advisor, committing seppuku. You know, and I think that's, you know, and
having his own fucking son.
Well, some of the last, like, Toranaga's last line in episode 8, where he talks about essentially, like, he knew his duty too well. And I think basically what he's saying is, like, I didn't know it, but this is what I needed. So, like, he still haven't gotten to the point where we know war is coming, but we know it's coming.
Rocks.
When Toranaga started giving up, I felt it was a ruse.
Yeah, me too.
And I didn't. I will tell you, when you're watching it, it's not that they give it away easily, but there's a conversation between the Toranaga son and the uncle's son.
Mm-hmm.
And the uncle's son asked Toranaga's son, he's like, does your father really, you know, is he giving up? And his son says, my father doesn't know how to give up.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do it. So, like, I'm like, okay, there's something going on here.
Which that's what I like too about episode 7 was there's a flashback like 47 or 46 years or whatever back to when he was a kid, when he wins his first fucking battle, and like the different stories that were told about how it happened.
I don't know. The guy who his best friend who committed seppuku, he told him, he's like, that night, he's like, who would ask a child to be their second?
And the kind of chuckle, like,
how long did it take you to behead him? He's like, oh, about 8 or 9 whacks. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that turns into a fucking ISIS beheading video real fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the brothers said that it was all one strike, even though it was like actually more.
I wanted to see the brother. I wanted to see him fucking beheaded so badly.
Yeah,
I know. I hate that guy.
Oh,
he plays his part really well.
The barbarian meeting one of his men again and feeling no longer amongst them.
Yep,
and he
finding
even tells
smelly too.
he tells the uncle that, like, you know, he understands he doesn't belong here, but amongst his own men, he doesn't feel like they're home either. Yep. And then you got to wonder, because it sure sounds like his men have got some grievances about where he took them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the backstory there is interesting.
The law is that once the captain has died or kills himself or whatever, for whatever reason is not captain anymore, you're supposed to turn around and head back. Like you're supposed to go back home.
Here's the thing, though, that at that point they were already starving to death.
Yeah.
Like he just was like, no, I know we're close enough. And he was right. Because, I mean, to be fair, these guys, you know, he's telling them, oh, we're barely holding on. Really? Because you're pissed drunk hitting on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's barely holding on? You being drunk every day, enjoying yourselves? You're clearly fed.
They're getting
dead.
Yeah,
you haven't been boiled.
They're getting free sake. Only one guy's died, well, that we know of, was died by fucking being boiled.
Yeah, the boiled one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you're getting free
show you, like, in terms of their understanding of like survival, he understood more because he clearly was a navigator and a sailor, and they didn't understand. Like, they thought that he, like, oh, you're just out for your own ambitions. He's like, you know, and you.
Well, they all kind of were, weren't they? It was kind of a pirate ship. Like, I mean, Sean says no crew equals no one going back home is dawning on him. Yeah, I mean, there's also other ties. Like, he clearly has made relationships with Mariko. He's starting to feel more belonging, including that scene where Uncle tries to kind of teach him how to sword fight a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's at that point where he just wants out, but he understands what is out. Like, where does he go? What is, you know, what's even on the other side of the earth for him anymore? How long has it been?
He's slowly learning what honor is, but he's getting confused by what honor is. Like it keeps fucking with him. Like,
well,
he doesn't know.
To be fair, the Japanese honor specifically at this time is a weird fucking thing, right? Like, it's not, especially when you compare yourself to like an Englishman. Japanese honor is weird.
But he does like the honor that they have for each other. It's just when it comes to, like, you know, seppuku and all that other shit. Like, he's like, I'm not fucking understanding this.
Well, it's interesting they didn't straight up behead him when he had his little outburst in the meeting where Toranaga was saying he's giving up. And in Japanese, he goes, "You're all dead." And he, like, walks away. Like, with him, they really allow him a lot of slack in that honor system. Because if that would have been some underling, his entire fucking bloodline would have been wiped out that day.
But in episode 8, you see why. Because Toranaga needed him to do that. He needed him to put some seeds into people. He needed him to go with Uncle. He needed, you know, so he planned all that. He just never planned
with the scroll at the end.
Yeah, he just never planned his best friend to do that, but he still accepts it as part of his plan.
Well, I think in his head, you know, I think what it's supposed to be is that's kind of the thing to shake him out of his, like, I'm just gonna die, you know, and like the whole concept, the war of words they have in that scene where Toranaga's like, I am not gonna yield. It's just, it's weird, and when you compare it to other cinema, one of the scenes I can think of is, it's weird, I know, but The Rock. When they're in the showers and he's going, you will put down your weapon, and he's like, you are out of order, and then they fucking it very much to me had that, like, two heads of power. And then the funny thing is he's like, you tell me what you want to say, and then he's like, I never asked for your advice. And it's like, what the fuck? You literally just did. You just told him to speak.
What makes that scene hit harder? What makes that scene hit harder is that he was talking to somebody he loved. He was his best friend who he grew up with, who taught him everything.
Guided him. He was 12 years old when he did that. Jen said a child. I think she's referencing to what's waiting for him on the other world, or on the other side of the world.
Oh, okay.
Technically, yes. Whom he's never met.
I believe he said a daughter or something.
Like, he's apparently got a child and a wife across the world, but he's never met. And how many years now has it been? Like, that's the thing that, like, is a little glossed over, and they might have said it in the beginning. I don't know what the full time frame this guy, I think it was, 2 years or something. It's close to that since he's been
on the
home.
island. It's been months.
Yeah. But, and then I think he was a sail for, like, a year, maybe more prior.
Yeah.
One thing I really like, and I'll say I didn't like this guy, Marco's husband.
Yeah.
But I will say I like him a bit more after episode 7 and 8.
Oh, dude, I felt so bad for him. when he's like, let's go into the afterlife together. And she tells him, I would rather live 1,000 years than go into the afterlife as your wife.
Fucking, and in that moment, he realized,
it's because it's not her
revenge. It's not the fact that she's trying to die. He realizes that she's just trying to get away from him.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want to be part of him.
There's also a weird relationship between her and Toranaga. It's like when he has that breakdown where he yells at her and he's basically just like, you know, are you loyal to the barbarian or the cause to get your revenge? And it's like, you're drawing lines now because the barbarian's supposed to be loyal to you. There's a weird power dynamic between the barbarian Mariko and Toranaga. It's a weird relationship, that three.
And he knows everything that's going on. He's just not letting them know that he knows.
Well, then
he's letting them know, hey, I have an idea.
Well, when the husband comes in and is like, you know, I'm accusing the Anjin of going after my wife, and he's like, if you're going to accuse him, you're accusing her, so we're killing them both.
Yeah.
And he's just like, my words were petty. Like, the weird absolutism with the honor is just like, well, if he's lusting after her, that must mean she's lusting after him. She gotta go, bro. It's just you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking weird. And I think that's, I don't even know if that's customary or if that's Toranaga inserting his own balance of like, I know what's going on, so I'm gonna.
That's him playing chess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's all part of his fucking strategy of like, because he knows the husband doesn't want him dead. They just had that conversation with the husband about how she's never thawed to him. She's always been ice cold. So the husband has at some point tried to, but once again, you're dealing with somebody that, sure, you maybe saved their life, but then you took them as essentially your prisoner the rest of their life.
I think that also that whole Toranaga telling him that, it also doubles back, if you remember in earlier episodes, Toranaga tells him, if you don't like staying with the Anjin, if you don't like the work she's doing, divorce her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was that whole conversation, and he's like, no, I can't do that.
Almost like Toranaga was telling him, give her fucking freedom. Like, you're not it, guy. There's also, you have the interesting conversation. So Toranaga does grant, he keeps his word and grants the church the ability to build the church in Edo. And then at the end, he also gave property to the tea house to build a beautiful tea house. And at the end of the episode, you see she's imagining her beautiful tea house and she's just looking at the land, picturing it. And then you see the guys from the church on the other end looking over, and they're like, who is that? And they're like, that's your neighbors. And it's like, neighbors. And it's like, it's a tea house. So Toranaga has purposely put a whorehouse within shouting distance of the church that he agreed.
I love that. It was so good.
His words also about the church on how he didn't want the priests or the father speaking their tongue because they're no longer an ally. Tea house, an ally of the. The interesting thing we see about tea houses, and I reference it in video games, is Yakuza, and how the Japanese still have those things, and like the tea houses are still a big thing. It's a weird thing that's gone for hundreds of years now.
I do love to, honestly, I know they don't get enough credit. They're sprinkled through the episode, but the pillow ladies of the night, if you will.
Yeah.
I would love to get a bit more on them because they clearly are holding cards that nobody else is aware of. Even the whole conversation Toranaga has with the lady of the tea house.
So it got me thinking during that scene. Why do you think one of her ladies was fucking the nephew for free? Remember when you first get introduced to her? She's kind of in the ear and she's listening, just sitting there listening. Yeah. That's how the main lady knows all the information. She's got the ears of everything. And she finds the weakness.
She finds the weakness of the men and she exploits.
Well, you're right too, because then when her and Toranaga have that interview, she cuts right through him and tells him like, "Oh, you don't mean to tell me this is your issue?" And just laid it out for him, and then, but what do I know? And like leaves. Mm-hmm. Also, the stick of time concepts, it's a literal incense stick. I didn't realize that. And then you're watching it and you're like, well, that's burning pretty fast, no? Like, there must be a wind. Like, can we not
get one stick?
Can we not get a cone around this to protect it from wind for Burning too fast. I've got a lot of words I need to say. Son of a bitch and wind in Japanese days. Yeah.
Can we pull the papers closed? Oh wait.
Right. We figure something out. It's rather drafty. These two great episodes. It's really reminiscent of like the Game of Thrones episodes where you have a lot of Peter Dinklage's character and a lot of the the politics of it, which it's building. I mean, they are building a lot of. The Crimson Sky episode better be awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think Toranaga is going to be able to create an alliance with the heir's mother after the heir's mother died?
Well, that's the other thing too is she also denied fucking marrying fucking Ashido because he proposed to her.
Yeah. Well, then on the heir's technical mother, but not mother, the heir's father's wife is who that woman is. She was the one that was supposed to give a son
because she was barren. Yeah, she was barren.
She's on her deathbed and she tells her Ishido has come from nothing. He's not a good man. Do not marry him. Mm-hmm. So does that? Is there a path for her hatred of Toranaga to still create an alliance? Because Toranaga, was the heir's protector. He was the one ruling everything until the heir were to come of age. And then the council tried to oust him. That's how this whole thing began. So is there a possibility for a relationship between Toranaga and the mother that protects the heir and protects Toranaga?
I don't know, because she has a hatred for him. And they don't really go into deeply about what
he knows it, though. About. I mean, so he's killed somebody she loves. It's somewhere. During one of his battles or something, he's killed someone. Her father, her brother, whatever.
So speaking of the heir was the kid, right?
Yes, the baby.
Let's talk about his fucking really dumb fucking slip. he slips and falls, right?
Oh no.
So the heir is her.
No. The baby is the heir. The little baby is the heir.
So his son, what is he then? Because I thought he was supposed to be.
No, his son is just his son.
Okay, so that is his son.
He was going to give him the battalion of the cannons, and then when he killed those guys, he took it away from him. Yeah. But I mean, Toranaga right now doesn't have any real throne. Like, he's got the loyalty of his people, but the council has said, "Come to Osaka and basically come kill yourself, or we're going to kill you." So the heir is the baby; it's her kid.
Okay, but Toranaga's son's death, it was kind of fucked up.
Oh, it's so stupid.
What would you? Yeah, dumb.
I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb. I thought the brother had a really good line there, though, because he had talked to him earlier about death isn't beautiful. None of this is beautiful. Yeah. And then when he falls and slips and he hits his head on the rock and subsequently dies, the brother stands there and he's like, "There's no beauty in this," and he's right.
Yeah.
He's right in challenging this whole honor and beauty system of death and basically the lack of loving life. He married her to the guy who assumed father's throne, so I'm going to say no. So you're saying Toranaga is responsible for her being married to her baby daddy, who is but that was, I mean, he was the leader of all of, you know what I mean? Like, she married into high fucking...
Yeah.
Well, she didn't marry in, though. She's just the baby mama. Because he had a wife.
Oh.
So she was just like a sex servant.
Only heir.
Yes.
Yeah, it was only Handmaid's Tale style. They did like Handmaid's Tale. They brought in a fucking lady.
So, I mean, she's not even the wife. She's the sex slave to make a boy, essentially.
Because she does call her the consort. She goes, "When I brought you in as a consort."
Yep. Yeah. You're right. So she didn't even have the prestige of being the emperor's wife. She was just the consort who he fucked till she had a boy.
Yeah.
That honor system, I mean, it sounds great if you're a guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if men were such chauvinistic pieces of shit like we're portrayed to be, wouldn't every guy be like, "No, I'm Muslim. I'm going back to the old school Japanese honor system"?
Yeah.
A concubine, KG says. Like, that's the weird thing is, like, if you were a dude back then, you were living, like, sure, you were the one that goes to war and dies in battle and all of the above, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to, like...
all the rewards you get.
Yeah, when it comes to how you're treated compared to women, you kind of had it better. besides, the ability to die at any second. But so do the women. He also did kidnap the heir, so maybe a little pissed off about that. When did he kidnap the heir?
When he kept her there for safety. He said it was safety. They wanted her to go back to Osaka, and they wouldn't let her go.
Yeah, he wouldn't let her go right away.
But he was the protector of the heir.
Yeah, so he was doing what he was supposed to do, but they were trying to get him out of the region.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing is he didn't kidnap the kid. He was the protector. Then the council flipped on him because of Shido.
Yeah, and I think the council is trying to portray it as you're keeping her away on purpose.
I mean, we all know it's going to lead up to Crimson Sky. Like, we know that they're going to storm Osaka. The question is, do they storm Osaka with Osaka's army? Like, do they make that deal with the
or
baby
is it going to be a
mama?
Trojan horse type deal? I don't know.
Exactly. Like, you have to assume the barbarian's going to get some maritime combat in when he's blowing chunks of Osaka out of the way from his ship. You'd have to imagine that's going to come.
Spun it as a kidnap, Sean said.
What?
They spun it as a kidnap, he said.
Yeah, that's what they spun it as, yeah, but all that was lies. And it's all Oshido. Now the question is, whether she hates Toranaga or not, does she understand maybe true power and success would come with him as an ally, as opposed to these bums they already have on the council?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the council? The council is literally 5 people that got elected when the emperor was sick and dying to run everything, yep. One of which being Toranaga, which because he was the protector of the heir, they ousted and lied about him because he had more power than they do. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think. See, her hatred for him goes somewhere else. It's got nothing to do with the baby. It's either maybe because he was responsible for being a consort, whether it was he was the general that led the army storming her village and killing her parent. Whatever her story is, it's tied to violence he's done, and he knows that. He even says, like, no, her anger's, there's nothing I can do about her anger towards me, her hatred for me. It's done. Whatever he did is
because
done.
It was his best friend that did say that to become friends with her allies, or was it the tea house lady? I can't remember. Was it the?
No, it was her best friend.
It was his best friend
in the earlier conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, he said to form an alliance with her.
Yeah, because they had that.
And that's when he explains, like, she hates me.
Yeah.
Right before he commits seppuku, that was one of his ideas.
Song, she fucking hates me.
Yeah, him committing seppuku did not sit well with me. I did not like that. I was not happy.
I didn't either. Dude, but I agree with Alex, man, to have your own son as a second. Like, and his son's like, let me go with you. And he's like, no, you need to live.
Yeah.
And then he tells him, I love when he tells his son, he's like, this is what it feels like to deny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Toranaga killed her father, took over the throne, and sold her to a new king. Is that what actually happened? Have you watched ahead? I would hope not. I don't know if Earthbound was able to download new episodes. Don't be spoiling shit.
I think there was a couple of other scenes that were explained
but
before
what throne did Toranaga take over?
The beginning where they were doing the beheadings. Remember when she saw and they pulled her to the side? I believe that's what Keiji's referencing.
Is that supposed to be Toranaga going through her? But are you confusing that with Mariko's story? Or am I confusing that with Mariko's story?
Mariko was the one told to run and hide. I think she was.
Yeah, but her scenes also begin with people being beheaded.
Yeah. Mariko, the wife who had her family heir taken away, the one who was assigned to Anjin, and the Empress, I will say, the with the heir to the throne, they all grew up together. All three of them.
Wait, was her father wasn't the one he killed at 12 years old, was it?
Mariko was the one that saw it.
Not Mariko. The baby mother. The baby mother.
I don't know. They didn't explain that.
Is that
man they were fighting?
Is the baby mother the heir, the daughter of the guy that he killed when he was 12? Is that the whole thing? Because that would explain the flashback scene being the explanation that was her father.
Maybe
she would have been young at that point. Because Toranaga's how old? That's got to be what? He's got to be 50 or whatever, right? Like, he's not young. She's not that old. That time frame doesn't seem to make sense to me if that's the same guy. Because he was 12. She's about 26 to 30 at this point. How the fuck old is Toranaga supposed to be?
Whatever it is, that was 46 years from the present time that they're doing, where the flashback goes from him having his first war.
So wait, it was 46. That's impossible if it's his daughter, no?
No. For his first war, it was 46 years. So that's why that can't be that part. But I think later on, when he's older, where the whole beheading things were happening, that was another flashback. She is the daughter of the Bad King. Different guy, KG says.
The beheadings happened when Mariko, the Empress, and the other girl were all growing up together.
Was her father in charge and when the new emperor took power and Toranaga was one of his generals and responsible for is that the whole thing? Like the emperor took power from her father?
That was like episode 5 or 6.
The Bad King. I don't know who the fuck the Bad King is.
Yeah, somebody stole power from somebody because I know Mariko witnessed the.
Yeah, that's when her family was slaughtered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the flashback we saw in episode 7 was a further flashback. It goes past episode 5's flashback.
I'll have to skim through that again because the problem is when we say things like Bad King and shit, that don't make any sense to me.
That's where the whole reading and fucking watching at the same time. That's why I got to keep fucking rewinding and.
I'll have to go back through that flashback scene. I must have missed something, but I still haven't gotten. To me, I haven't gotten a clear explanation what the hatred is. So I'll have to rewatch part of that to find out. Let's give these 2 episodes reviews. We're still just doing the good, great, or recommended thing.
Still recommending it, yeah.
Still recommend.
Mariko
absolutely.
Dead killed Bad King, which was like the fucking goddamn. I can't read the chat because the stupid heart.
Oh yeah, Mariko did kill somebody.
There. How about now?
Mariko killed the baby mama dad. Got ya. Fucking this stupid fucking heart is always in the way, dude.
I know. I wish you could move
cuts off the last. Even on the YouTube page, I'm looking at it. Cuts the last fucking word off. I hate it. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you watch it. It cuts it off.
Yeah.
You gotta add an extra one.
Yeah. Just a couple of gibberish letters so it actually.
Yeah, like what I did. LOL.
Yeah, no, for me, obviously the show is still heavily recommended. These episodes they're just building to an eventual climax of presumably going to be epic proportions.
I'm hoping.
This season 2, I don't know if we'll get a Crimson Sky in this season.
The next episode's title is Crimson Sky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks, Hulu. I wonder what's going to happen next week on the episode titled Crimson Sky. Thanks, Hulu. I wonder. Yeah, they're like, Nick, don't forget, you got 2 more episodes coming up next week. So titled Crimson Sky, and then I stopped reading because I'm sure that title's going to give something away for episode 10. Yeah. Fucking Hulu, idiot. Disney Plus doesn't work right on my Xbox for some fucking reason, so I'm back to Hulu on the Xbox, but the audio on the Hulu Xbox is better. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it at all. It's bullshit. It's horse shit. Suck a bag.
Maybe I should turn on my fucking Xbox and watch Hulu then, huh?
That's the best way to watch Hulu, in my opinion, is the fucking Xbox, dude. Like, I haven't had a problem with the Xbox audio so far.
Oh, I pick it up through Disney Plus. The audio's been perfect.
Yes, so yeah, Disney Plus is. I mean, that's one thing that you could say that about Disney Plus is their 4K and shit is on point.
Checking to see how much time is left on the last episodes. I think they're all an hour.
I do got it. Like, I don't watch a ton of Disney Plus, but when I do, the quality is never an issue. Like, I've skimmed through some of the Star Wars, like some of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and shit, just to see some of the Darth Vader battle scenes and stuff. And we did watch a couple seasons of Mandalorian, and the quality of Disney Plus has always been, in my opinion, stellar. If you go watch any other Marvel movies they have out there in 4K, they got the IMAX cuts and everything. Disney Plus does a good job with delivering their higher quality content.
So we had everybody was over last week here at the house here, and we put on Disney Plus it's a Bug's Life for real for Anthony's son, and it was pretty interesting. I liked it. I liked how everything was going on there. It looked fucking awesome. They zoomed in, fucking watching a flight and shit. It's crazy.
They've got, I mean, Disney Plus's 4K video transfer is fucking solid. Like, they have Planet Earth and stuff out there as well.
Yeah.
It's really solid looking. Like, I think it's honestly the best out of all the apps.
Oh, absolutely.
The Dolby Digital
Even
Plus you get,
out.
yeah, the 4K transfers, it's always clean. Even their interface is pretty clean. Like, you know, they've got their Marvel, the Star Wars, they've got it segmented. So I do hand it to Disney Plus out of all the things, even if I don't consume a shit ton of their content. I think what they do they present it in a very good way. Like Shogun, the fact that you can watch some Hulu shit makes it that much better because then you're getting the Disney Plus quality but you're still getting the Hulu content.
If I wasn't getting Hulu for free, man, I'd have that, but I'm not getting it for free.
I lost my iPhone.
I'm getting it for free. Sorry.
I have an Apple TV. My phone stopped working as a remote with it, which you're supposed to be. It just doesn't read it anymore, and I lost the goddamn little remote. So the only way to control, like, my iPad isn't reading the Apple TV anymore either. Really, it's spotty. So it's something with the Apple TV. It's a few years old at this point. I need a new one, which
they're forcing you to get a new one.
Yeah, typical Apple bullshit, right?
You've been zapped.
Until I buy a new one, I just went on Amazon and ordered some like fucking generic universal remote for $9. Because all I needed to do is to clicky and allow me to fast forward shit. I just need access to my fucking Apple TV.
You just wanted to go 30 seconds in advance, right? So you could get the dialogue.
Well, it's ridiculous because the upstairs has an Apple TV and I can log into theirs, but I can't even log into mine 2 fucking feet away from me. It's ridiculous.
I will say, on Apple TV, Monarch was approved for season 2.
Oh, nice.
That's a Godzilla spinoff.
Yeah, I haven't. When does the new one comes out soon? Right? It's like the end of this month or some shit. People are all pissed because Godzilla runs.
They're saying May, but it's going to be released on Blu-ray this month, I believe. But I think they're talking about May on some kind of streaming service.
Probably HBO because that's where the last one went.
Yeah,
just waiting for -1.
I'm sorry, that's the one they were talking about. I'm sorry, that's the one they were talking about.
Yeah, because the new one's not even out yet. The Godzilla, what is it? Is it still Verse Kong or is it Kong and Godzilla 2?
I think it's Kong versus Godzilla, something King, the Forgotten King, or something like that.
I think it's called Kong Godzilla, and then whatever you said just now.
The last one was straight up King Kong versus Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
I like that one. I don't know. Here's the thing, like, I'm hearing people bitch about the fact that Godzilla can run, and I'm pretty sure it's in the under Earth anyways, is the whole point, but why are we talking realistic semantics on a giant radioactive lizard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing when nerds, like, talk about how Spider-Man's able to swing. It's like, you're trying to put real-world logic to somebody who's bitten by a radioactive fucking spider? Like, oh, the Incredible Hulk wouldn't be able to jump that far. Oh, wait. So the problem you have with the guy that had gamma radiation and when he gets angry, he turns into a giant green beast?
Fucking, yeah.
The problem you have with the logic and science is that he jumps too far or not enough? Like, why? Why are we putting this to real life logic? Like, oh yeah, The Boys isn't realistic. Yeah, superheroes don't exist. You're right. The whole premise is not unrealistic. Why are we trying to be like it's real world? Stop.
With that said, if any show is closest to realism, if superheroes existed, it would be The Boys. Because power corrupts absolutely.
Like, or Hancock would be another one.
Hancock is good.
Hancock
you know what you haven't seen in The Boys, which you need to, is the superheroes actually fighting other supes. Like, there hasn't been any, like, Homelander shows up to a bank robbery and there's supes that are robbing the bank. Like, when do we get to that? We've got the Soup Academy show. We know they're out there. Why are we not having more, like, why? You know what I mean? Like, when do we get to the point where maybe the supes and the people have to work together to fight this new power? Because that's what everybody wants to see. They do want to see, like, Homelander's the ultimate bad guy. But you know how big of a pop he would get if he did good shit sometimes? Like, because everybody already loves him. They love to hate him. They love him. I don't know. I'd like to see a point where it's like Homelander comes to a crime and it's a super fast, a super strong, and another one that can shoot eye lasers out. And he's got to take 3 supes on. Like, why haven't we seen that?
Other than burning fucking tits off of people. Because that's what he's known for at the moment.
I mean, you got to be known for something. And while I don't maybe condone tit burning entirely, If that's your calling card, you've chosen
Well,
it, I guess.
he is a milkman, so I mean,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Phil was in the first season when he fries the girl he was sleeping with. He lasers through her eyes into her skull. It was great.
Every season that comes out, too, it's just like, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. And it's like, I believe you. I don't know what you guys are doing, but...
Shit, I think the grossest episode that everybody fucking hates is the one where the guy shrinks himself down and goes into the penis.
That's the best episode. It ends in the best way.
He's fucking, like, just touching shit as he's walking through. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
He just supersizes, blows somebody. He's like, yeah. Covered in blood. It's great.
He's covered in blood.
I do love how gory that movie is. I'm looking forward to Carl Urban as Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat sequel as well.
I know. It's going to be so good.
All right. We do have a movie. Won't be a long review on this one simply because it's not, we'll get into it. But Thanksgiving. We were going to wait and kind of do this with in July maybe. We'll figure out Christmas in July or holiday in July movies. I'm sure there will be something. Thanksgiving is a horror film. Is it directed by Eli Roth or just produced?
I don't know if it's produced or let me see.
By the way, fuck Eli Roth, dude.
He's director. He's director.
Piece of shit. He literally did there's nothing more badass than Cate Blanchett with a flamethrower. I can think of something more badass than Cate Blanchett with a flamethrower. Literally anybody else with a flamethrower.
With a decent acting ability.
Nothing about Cate Blanchett is badass. Why is Samara Weaving not the Firehawk? Fuck, enough. Really... Jamie Lee Curtis is an old probiotic eating bitch. She shouldn't be fucking Danis or Tanis. She shouldn't be. That's too old. And Tanis on top of it's a fucking siren, so they age slower. Why are the two sirens in the movie old?
Says she's been there for 3,000 years. What year does Borderlands take place? I can't remember.
Who the fuck knows? And there's no with the cast selection they have, it's kind of a hodgepodge. But that's the whole thing is they're trying to portray this as Borderlands 1, but the Firehawk isn't this old in Borderlands 1. By the third one, she's maybe in her 40s. And none of it makes sense. Like Eli Roth trying to tell me that there's nothing more badass than Cate Blanchett with a flamethrower can suck my dick. Bullshit. Give the robot the flamethrower. Fuck Cate Blanchett. Stop trying to sell me Cate Blanchett as an actress or an action hero. Fuck off. Jamie Lee Curtis as well. I hope she dies in the first 10 minutes like Steven Seagal in Executive Decision. I don't want to fucking see her in that movie. All right. So Thanksgiving. What did you guys think of Thanksgiving? I know you guys watched it, I think, way before I did.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. There was some goofy shit to it. It gave me an 80s feel for horror movies. And
Scream, to be honest with you, Scream 1, it was very much trying to...
It was a ripoff of Scream
that
1.
in again, yeah. That whole, concept.
Have you ever seen Return to Horror High? Was it Return to Horror High?
I have, long time ago.
Yeah, so it's got the girl who played Marsha Brady from the Brady Bunch. She's like a cop in there. But it reminded me a lot of that style of horror, comedy, and good fucking kills and inventive kills, shit like that. So I was enjoying it. I
did enjoy it. It's a dumb slasher flick.
Yeah.
The gore is pretty well done. It's that in between of high budget gore meets Terrifier low budget gore.
Yeah,
and actually also really low budget fucking gore. Because at one point there's something that looks so fucking shitty. I was like, what the fuck?
I also was getting Final Destination vibes in this movie a lot, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that.
Very much the way that the killer kills them, the way it sets it up,
the way it sets up, the way it sets up.
It shows these different pieces that are going to become part of it. It had kind of a Final Destination feel to it as well. It's a solid movie. It's one of those. It's like a popcorn horror movie where it's you go there for some excessive gore, fairly thin story. It is predictable, very predictable, especially if you're looking at it from the Scream, which is the core story essentially is 100% a ripoff of Scream.
If I were dating, it'd probably be like the second or third date movie that you take somebody on.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those like she's gonna walk out of there going, "Oh, that was gross," and you're gonna walk out, "I don't know, it wasn't too bad." You know, that type of movie.
But during the whole time, she's got her head buried into you, like
I'm not looking at this.
Every movie like this, also like Scream, has a point where they try and divert you from who the killer is. This is the worst. This did it the worst. I feel it didn't do it.
Yeah, but I think that was intentional. I think it was intentional.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: it's not a bad movie at all. Like, it's one of those movies where if you're willing to, like, it's a shut your brain off horror movie, right? Like, this isn't like a, like, if you're watching it going, "Oh, I wonder who the killer is," over, like, you're, you know, maybe I don't know about you. You don't have an aptitude you need, because that doesn't happen at all in this movie. This movie's very much, you know.
But the average what do you call it? Person that watches these horror movies that don't really watch horror movies, the only part where they get it was like near the end, like with the whole.
Yeah, you mean right before the typical "I did it, and here's how I did it, and I'm going to tell you more."
Yeah. If only you hung there a little bit longer, you know, that's when everybody really got it, and that's your typical horror fucking movie, you know, watcher.
That is one convention I was really hoping it would have broken, though. I think that the whole, like, the killer not only is the killer, we knew he was the killer, but now he's going to tell you why and how he was the killer. Like, I kind of like The Town That Dreaded Sunset. Have you ever seen? I have never seen the original, which was an 80s movie. Not. The remake is essentially a sequel reboot, where it's the same killer from the original movie, and he's just back.
Oh, wow.
But the killer there is no explanation. He's just there fucking people up. And I kind of like that about, like, if you're making an old school slasher movie, there's something so much more terrifying than a killer without a motive, in my opinion. Like a killer, like, you know, don't get me wrong, Michael Myers is terrifying, but we know his motive. His motive is mommy issues. I like a killer that comes out of nowhere, starts wiping people out, and the whole movie you're going, who the fuck is doing this? Why are they? And then the end of the movie, they don't give you a why. I think one of the best horror movie endings is The Collector. The Jeepers Creepers is another, like, they give you reasons why he did, but Jeepers Creepers is another good one where the movie ends with him air drying Justin Long's skin. You know, he's got eyes now.
I do enjoy movies where the villain kind of wins.
Yeah.
So the original Saw. That's the original Saw is one of the best horror movie endings ever. The combination of the song they play, the dialogue they're playing over it, the fact that he just slowly gets up, but he kind of like he's still out of it because of the drug he took to slow his heart rate, and then the last line being "Game over." Door closes and screams in darkness. One of the greatest fucking horror movies or horror endings. I remember when I saw that in theaters, it gave me goosebumps when literally the movie ends, the little bit of light from the fucking door clay, and he goes "Game over," and then the guy's just, and I'm sitting in the theater, pitch black, nothing but screams. I had fucking goosebumps, man. I still think that's one of the all-time greatest horror movie endings ever.
That was Carl Eulis screaming, right?
Yeah. No, that was the other guy, the guy who directed it, Leigh Whannell.
Okay.
It was his character, because Cary Ells at this point had crawled out without his foot. He cut his foot on, and so the other guy was still chained to the pipe. Yeah, dude. Like all the other Saw movies, like whatever, but that ending, people still need to remember what that ending and what that movie was to horror movie, because people don't understand that movie wasn't even all that violent. There's the one part where she cuts into the guy's stomach looking for the key, but other than that. That movie's not a blood fest. It really isn't. It's
very much psychological.
Yeah.
Very much psychological.
Yeah. Even when Danny Glover's throat gets cut, it's not like a gory scene. You know, it's not like, oh, blood gush. It's just he holds his hand to it and you see some blood coming out of it. You know, like Saw 1 was not a gore fest. Saw 2 changed things up a little bit, including the scene where she gets pitched into a pit of needles.
You see somebody's throat get cut in the fucking opening of Thanksgiving. Which is pretty fucking cool.
All right, so how do you guys feel about the decision to redo the original trailer? with different celebrities and whatnot. Because the beginning of the movie had some celebrities in it, but the original like fake trailer, I think, wasn't it Chris Kattan?
I don't remember.
It was Chris Kattan.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bunch of like B-level
dinner, right? Was Chris Kattan at the dinner? Okay.
Yeah, and so the beginning of
this movie started, I was like, "Is this the same movie?"
That's the thing.
Now it's starting to it's starting to get flashback. Now,
yeah, the guy from Elf, the father, Dennis,
the one that passed away, right? He passed away.
James Caan.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the original trailer as well. You got to remember, this whole movie spawned as a fake trailer during the double film Grindhouse with Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez.
Oh shit!
That was the original concept. Was that trailer of Thanksgiving that they played, which you only got to see in the theaters. But if you saw it in theaters, it was both films, and they had the fake trailers that played. I think it was Werewolf Women of the SS, Thanksgiving. One of them was Don't, where it was just like, don't open the door, don't look it through the window, don't, and it was just don't. But that's where this concept initially came from. So the beginning of the movie starts off and they basically recreated the original trailer, which I thought the original trailer's cast was way better because you did have guys like Chris Kattan and like there was a few more there too that were like B-level, C-level celebrities, that were once, has-beens basically. I didn't really like the recut of it. I wish the original would have been in there, to be honest with you. But I don't even know what studio's property that is at this point.
The one that plays the dad, he's from that Suits show that you've been wanting to watch.
Yes. Yeah, he's in Suits. I actually like him as an actor. He was in, I'm trying to remember what the first thing I saw him in, but he was a fleazy piece of shit. Just like, what's his name? Ty Burrell or whatever it is from Modern Family, the father. The first movie I remember seeing him as was Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead?
And he was like the sleazy single guy that had a boat. Yeah. So there's a lot of these actors that you see in like that turn up and shit where you're like, no, and it's kind of the same probably effect that like Bob Saget had. Like if you were a local comedy fan at that time when he was doing stand up, then you saw him on Full House, it was probably like, holy shit, like I saw that guy and he was pretty dirty. Like, and now he's Danny fucking Tanner. But that goes along with getting typecast.
Yep.
Which is, that used to be kind of like a death curse, but now think of the resurgences people can have. Like Bob Saget, when he resurged and he was doing dirty stand-up again. By the way, Full House made him millions. He never had to work again. But the fact that but the fact that he came back and people were like, we love Bob Saget, and holy shit, Bob's saying fucking cunt and all these words.
Aristocrats. That was when everybody was like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And like, so these old school celebs that were maybe family friendly, I think can have a resurgence. I think, I also saw rumors that Breaking Bad, there was going to be another movie centered around Walter White, how he survived the end of it sounds like bullshit, but we'll see. I do want to watch Better Call Saul. I never have, and I've been seeing like little short clips, and that's usually how I get into a show nowadays, which is kind of sad, is I'll see like Suits. I want to watch Suits because every now and then when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I see these YouTube shorts of individual scenes, and it's like, fuck, that show looks kind of interesting.
Better Call Saul is actually really good. I was skeptical at first, and one day I started it, and I didn't stop till I finished it.
I'm from my understanding, what's his face? Los Pollos Locos guy is in it. Gustav is in it a lot more. Mm-hmm. Mike is in it a lot more, and I remember
he's got his own new show out now.
That's connected to the universe or something else?
No.
He plays like an assassin or something.
Yeah, it's his own show. Yeah, it's his own TV show.
Well, you linked us to Dave Bautista's next golden acting prowess. John Wick meets Kill Bill. Okay, sure. You say so.
What is that?
Another Bautista film.
I don't like him as an actor. I like him
comedy
as Drax.
Action.
I liked him as Drax, and there's not a single other role that I could say I liked him in.
They're saying they're saying that this comedy action film that he's going to be in is right up his alley because of how well he did for Drax.
Yeah, you remember that? Remember that movie My Spy he was in? Nor does anyone else.
I watched it with my kids during the pandemic. Yeah.
I'm like, here's the thing: is he in his head? He's going through the classic process, right? Because The Rock did that.
The Rock did it.
The Rock did the Tooth Fairy. And that ice skating movie, and it's just part of the process. The problem is, dude, is you're already like 50 years old. Your body's bringing like you're 10, 15 years past where you should have been at this level.
He should have started with the fucking family films first, and then progress his way up. But he didn't do it that way. He tried to go hard.
He got lucky. He got lucky. He got lucky and he got cast as Drax. Is basically his whole career is because he got lucky and James Gunn cast him as Drax. Otherwise, he wouldn't have an acting career.
But James Gunn's
Drax's character is not difficult.
No, he does well in it, but no, it's.
But that's only because his the way he laughs and that stuff it makes him really sound dumb like Drax.
Well, I think a perfect example of how bad his acting is that movie with Jodie Foster, where he was going in between. He was going in between.
The hotel.
Like he was going between
Artemis Hotel.
Yeah, Cholo and Samoan, and then just straight up mentally deficient.
Yeah,
it was. Oh my god!
Like right there is his acting ability. Name me another role where his acting ability has sold the movie. I'll wait. Didn't think so. There isn't one. He's never been in a movie that he's been the star of the movie, and it's done anything more than direct to DVD because he's not a good actor. He was the tough guy in James Bond Spectre. Didn't really have an acting role. Like enough. I'm
physical.
I'm tired of the industry trying to shove Dave Bautista down my throat. You're not a good fucking actor, guy. Sorry, you're just not. When you do get the chance to actually act, that's the other thing is like The Rock. Whether you like him or not, whether he's too much everywhere, and he at least, even if he's just acting as himself, people like that personality enough.
It's the charisma that he has and how he portrays himself that's what his characters are.
Well, I get the feeling that Dave Bautista's
comedy.
Dave Bautista's
and John Cena's actually good with comedy. Yeah,
Dave Bautista in real life seems kind of like a whiny bitch.
Yes,
like he just seems like
like his character in wrestling.
I didn't want to do that, and I saw an interview and he's going over his tattoos and he's sitting there like a fucking femme with his hands folded over and his leg crossed over, and it's like. How the fuck am I ever supposed to look at you as Batista?
He's like, no, I stopped taking steroids, and now I can't explain why I have this tattoo around my belly button.
Basically, yeah, it's basically like it's because I'm getting older. It's like no, it's because you're no longer on the juice. Stop trying to tell me that, and it's not just him. It's the Momoas of the world. Henry Cavill. I don't know if he was on juice. He might not have been. Might have. He's in consistently good shape. But Chris Hemsworth. All of the Marvel people are on juice, including Iron Man in the first fucking Iron Man movie. Like, stop it. Like, when you need to train for a role, what you mean is you're going on another steroid cycle and you're training for, you know what I mean? Like, stop. Like, Jason Momoa nowadays, the reason why he probably looks fatter in Aquaman 2 is because he refused to go back on the fucking juice.
Speaking of roles, the guy who plays Reacher in the show desperately wants to play Batman.
Fuck him. I'm only going to say this, and I'm not alleging support to anybody, but he just came out in an interview talking, shit about how Trump supporters are racist, and we don't need, and it's just like, oh
my god,
another fucking actor. Once again, listen, steroid, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares on your political views. You play a character that is hot right now. And in 3 seasons, when the writing goes downhill and the other roles have dried up because they don't need another steroid, because once again, the people he supports also believe that masculinity is evil.
Yeah.
So these roles of you don't get to be the tough guy. They like Reacher for right now. In 3 seasons, when the writing goes downhill, they won't. Or you say something they don't agree with, they won't. You have a finite space. Look at your other jobs you've had in this career. The Blue Mountain State show that he was in. You were a fucking goon in that show. You played a dipshit. Shut the fuck up about politics. You don't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. All that tells me, in all honesty, anytime any celebrity, Trump's a Nazi, you gotta vote for it. Anytime a celebrity says that, to me, that's okay. The industry owns you now. You're playing by their rules. If you want to still be Jack Reacher in another season, you got to play by their rules. And once that happens, I stop listening completely. Like, I'll watch the next season of Reacher, but I'm not going to listen to a goddamn thing Steroid has to say.
I do hate when celebrities try to express their views and push it on you.
Ugh.
No matter what view it is. I don't give a fuck if it's something I support or if it's something I don't support. I don't want to fucking hear you. I want you to entertain me. That's what you're here for.
I thought The Rock learned his lesson, and in the same sentence, he didn't learn his lesson. And it was, the guy asked him, would you still support Joe Biden? And rather than just going like, at this point, I can't say who I would support, he went and wrote back and was like, yeah, I wouldn't give Biden my nomination. And it's like, dude, even if I agree with you,
why give your fucking position on anything?
Why give anything? Just tell him as of right now, I'm an undecided voter. But the problem with that is if
I'm
you
here
do
to
that,
entertain you.
But if you do that, then you're like that's the thing is tell him, you know what, guys, you don't need to listen to me for my political opinion. But the problem is The Rock, once again, he was accepted into the system. And the reason why he was talking politics is because at this point they were offering him to run for president. They were offering him to run for president. And it's just one of those things of like, just shut the fuck up. Like if you're a celebrity based on the precedents that you run your mouth on politics, like if you're an Alex Jones or one of those Tucker Carlsons, whatever, that's one thing. But if you're an actor, shut the fuck up. If they tell you have to show allegiance to a side to be in a movie, don't be in the fucking role.
Do you think that's why his show, The Rock, got canceled?
Oh, I don't know.
I think there's a reason why you're seeing a slowdown in his roles. There's something's going on.
His show got canceled.
I personally believe though, like if you're in the spotlight and they ask you about your political view and you say you're a fence sitter, I think you get attacked harder than if you pick a side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why you can handle. Like, here's the thing: if I was, let's say, I was in that position, right, and they go, "Who are you voting for?" I would simply say, "I'm an actor. Why would you care about my opinion on that?" That's not.
Yeah.
Like I'm here. Like I would tell them, "I'm here to entertain you." Yeah, I would say, "Why would you care about my opinion? I'm here to talk about Reacher season 2," and that would be my response. I would give nothing. I would give nobody anything. And if I was in public and they say, "Hey man, who are you voting for?" I would say, "I'm a stupid actor. Why would you ask me that question? I am paid to read other people's words. Why would you ask me that question? Why do you care?" And then I would walk away.
I got pissed. I got pissed one time when I was going to vote, and they were asking me, "What's your party that you're going to vote for?" I was like, "Who the fuck are you to ask me that?" I was like, "Just give me my fucking ballot and let me go."
That's why you got to tell them the green eggs and ham party. It'll confuse them every time.
It's nobody's business. That's why when you go to bars, they tell you church and politics you don't fucking talk about.
And what's the thing that drunk assholes love talking about? Fucking religion, relationships, and
religion
politics.
And politics. Yeah, and that's why when I was the last time I think my wife and I actually went to a bar together. It was an arcade bar, and we were with the parents. Like some of the parents, and some mom was asked, or not even a mom. Some lady just asked me. She was like, "So I see your wife's Filipino." She's like, "What do you think about her president?" I was like, "Are you really asking me that question?"
Why do I care about the Filipino president? I'm American.
So when I told her my fucking thoughts of it, she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Well, you fucking asked me, right?" So what do you want me to say?
I think from now on, if people try to talk to me in public, I'm just like, "I'm sorry, I'm deaf," and walk away. I'm not even gonna do a deaf voice either.
But you just responded. What?
Yeah, like that's the other thing is I'll go to walk away and they'll be like, "Sir," and I'll turn around and be like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, "I asked you a question. Sorry, deaf," and I'd walk away.
Hey, I have a question for you. If a child is born deaf and never given the ability to hear, what language do they think in?
Good question. I mean,
it just popped into my head.
I think it's more like visual than like it's just all visual.
I think you'd have to assume that maybe the inner monologue doesn't get developed,
or if they're teaching sign language, then if they're deaf and they don't have anybody teaching them anything, because if you have somebody, if you're deaf and they're teaching you sign language,
but you don't have to hear words to know language.
That's true.
I mean, in order to speak the language, sure, but you can learn how to read and write a language without ever hearing it. So, like, at the minimum, they'd still be thinking in terms of visualization.
That goes with repetition of your teacher teaching you. So, like, apple is apple. Thank you, thank you. It's stuff like that.
I would assume there's an inner monologue, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have any voice. Maybe it's
just,
I don't know.
Which brings us to that fucking movie. What's it called? With the Skarsgård? Where he's a deaf mute and
oh yeah, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, what's it called? Something about the boy, something boy. Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's got a stupid fucking title.
Yeah, I want to see that. The commercials have really started getting jacked up for it.
It looks cool. It looks like it's a bloodbath fun time. But the problem is, it looks way too much. I don't know. I have a real problem with what I've seen of The Crow. this fact that they've like from the footage they've shown, it's not him picking off gang members. Like to me, The Crow, if you're gonna remake it, still should have the dark, brooding atmosphere where you're not so much fighting people, you're hunting them. And this movie just looks like, yeah, I walked into a crack house and blah, 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 gunshots, stab wounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it. I can almost 100% guarantee you I'm not going to like it.
It kind of makes it look like Groundhog Day as well. Because he dies and then comes back again. He dies and comes back again.
Well, think about it. If they made another Alex Proyas movie, which would be Dark City, and it's neon lit, it's cyberpunkish.
That would ruin it. Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like he created an atmosphere in The Crow and in Dark City, and to me, they have really fucked with the atmosphere of The Crow.
It's by the way, it's called Boy Kills World.
Boy Kills World. That movie looks good. And the fun.
It does look good.
I mean, I love H. John Benjamin too, and honestly, I'm way okay with him having the monologue in the movies over fucking Skarsgård. He can do Pennywise well, but I don't know how much his own voice even fucking matters to me. To be honest with you, I don't care. You guys ready to review Thanksgiving? Good. You know what that means.
It's just now showing up on my fucking screen. Big one.
So the problem with the hot dog reviews video is I don't ever use I'm not listening to the audio, so I'm literally just sitting here staring at dancing hot dogs with no audio and just like watching it, waiting for it to end. Like just tell him, sorry, I can't vote. Downside of doing time for murder. I'll vote for Abraham Lincoln. Who? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. Just start yelling out fucking former presidents' names. Al Bundy. Who? He was a polk high quarterback. Famous. All right, let's give this movie a review. Thanksgiving. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. It's enjoyable. I enjoyed it. It is a goofy, enjoy the bloodbath, rip off of concepts a lot of the way, or you can call it homage if you want, but the storyline is kind of a direct rip off.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it. It's a solid 6.5. It's one of those movies that like you can easily go, hey, what's this? And throw on and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, there's not, it's like an hour and a half long. You're not investing a bunch of time. You could watch it with a loved one. If they're squeamish, it does get pretty gory, but yeah, 6.5 for me.
I'm gonna go. I think it's like more like a 7.5 for me. I enjoyed all the characters, even if I fucking hated them, especially that fucking Evan guy. I hated him, but I loved how over the top the characters were, but they were still believable that that is a person that you could fucking run into in this world. Somebody who breaks out their phone to fucking record something. Somebody who's always like, no, we're gonna go do this today. And also, like you were saying about, it's been done before. It starts out like a very 80s.
Yeah. Especially with the view on the door, like Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it look like it's a Friday the 13th or a Halloween movie or something from the 80s.
Yeah.
And then they try to capture that in as far as the progression with the killer and stuff, but it doesn't track all the way. But it's still fucking good to me. So 7.5.
I'm gonna go 5.5. Kind of almost middle of the road. I did enjoy the movie, but even when you turn your brain off, the main characters, I didn't like any of them. I couldn't relate to any of them.
Yeah, I did. I had that same feeling of like I'm okay with the entire cast getting slaughtered.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like that's what I'm saying. I liked how over the top they were, like as a whole, like just how they were, and I enjoyed that about them. So I don't know.
Her boyfriends, when he came and saved her in the end, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, him. Like, I didn't want the other guy either, but like,
Yeah.
really, like,
So,
okay.
So you know the second boyfriend, the one that fucking brings the football tickets. Let's go watch on the 50-yard line. He's from Disney fucking TV show, the zombie one.
Yeah.
And then the other one, the other boyfriend with the fucking hand, the pitcher. He's from the new fucking what's that called? Oh god, fucking the WGN fucking show with
I don't do WGN programming.
Oh my god, what's his name?
Riverdale.
It's fucking Nick the Bowflex guy. Fuck, what's his name?
Only if you had a computer in front of you.
No, what's his name? The Bowflex guy.
Fucking no, look it up. What I'm saying, if only you had a goddamn computer in front of you to look these things up, that would sure help. Joker 2 trailer is fire. I'm 50-50 on it, man. I don't feel too great about it being a musical.
Supposed to be a musical? Yeah. No,
so it's a quasi musical, and
Chuck Norris. Jesus Christ.
It's dude. He was the total Jim. He wasn't the Bowflex. Get it right. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it being a musical, dude. Like, I understand they're supposed to be using like contemporary music, and I think the concept is he's so insane that Harley Quinn is teaching him how to harness his anger, and he sees everything as a musical now. But I don't want a fucking Joker movie that's a musical, dude. I don't.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, but the Penguin TV show to me is much more promising than Joker 2.
I am excited for the Penguin one.
Joker 2 might be great, but dude, the musical element of it does not appeal to me. I don't need... I mean, there are several movies that I do enjoy that are of that premise. Like, I do like Rock of Ages, Across the Universe, the Beatles one is really well done. Do I want that as a Joker movie? No.
Wonka.
I quite enjoy The Yellow Submarine.
Hard Day's Night is a funny movie, too. I love musical documentaries.
You talking about Sgt. Pepper?
Yeah.
Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
I love Sgt. Pepper. Love the heck out of yeah.
I don't mind.
It was
like,
Texas Ranger, sorry.
I don't mind a musical necessarily, but that doesn't mean... Like, why does a Joker film have to be a fucking musical?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Like, why can't it just be a good movie? I don't know. Like,
do you
for
think
me,
do you think Joaquin Phoenix had a fucking big input on the new movie?
Who knows, dude?
He's the first Joker.
But he's very fucking weird. You know, he claims he doesn't want to do things, and he does it. He did a whole fucking skit where he pretended like he didn't want to be a part of this, or he wanted to get out of the acting thing, and then he made this movie. He's fucking weird. He's weird.
Well, then there's the story of like he showed up to set.
He's a thespian.
Like he shows up to set, and the director of Joker is like Todd Phillips is like, I think he needs to be a little bit thinner. And then Queen Phoenix, the next time you see him, is thin as a rail, and basically was just like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And all he did was eat like lettuce and smoke cigarettes. Like, which is cool. Joker 1 was great, but like Joker 1 wasn't good enough to lead me into watching a musical and saying it's the greatest thing ever simply because it's a Joker musical. Like, I don't like hype. And I know that's weird to say, but I've been fighting against hype, it seems like, this entire year, whether it be Pal World or movies like this. I'm getting so sick and fucking tired of people's hype. I don't care that, like, if you like musicals and it's up your alley, that's awesome.
So you're saying Flavor Flav was right? Don't believe the hype?
Sure. I don't think he was right about anything in his life, frankly.
You want to watch a good musical? Watch Wonka. That was actually really good.
There's minus one song, and that's Cheer Up Charlie. That song's a piece of shit. Nobody needs that song. I fast forward through it every time I watch the movie. I don't need his poor ass mother watching clothes telling this poor ass little kid.
Oh, you're talking about the other one? No,
the original.
No, I was talking about the new one.
Do you want to talk about the new one?
The new one's actually pretty good.
I haven't watched it yet. It looks okay. I mean, it's not in my opinion, no matter what, it can't hold a candle to the original, but
yeah, the original's great.
It looks better than the Tim Burton version, if I'm being honest. I did hear a rumor that they're trying to do Back to the Future with Timothée Chalamet, and I don't understand why everybody likes Timothée Chalamet. I don't get this hype for Timothée Chalamet. He's
Is he gonna cut his
okay.
hair?
He's okay, I guess. I just don't get it. And like the other thing is, if you're gonna make how do you make Back to the Future nowadays? What future do you have to try? Like it's 2024 and we don't have flying cars. So like, what are you gonna like? Are you gonna? Or it's gonna be Blade Runner? Is it gonna be Cyberpunk? Like, I don't need a new Back to the Future.
It better not include Marty at all, and it better not include Doc Brown. It should be somebody who finds, if they're gonna do it, it should be somebody who finds
if it's a new one, write all the old characters out of it.
Yeah, don't put any fucking new characters. Don't go back.
So what if you did it kind of like they did the first, which I've heard the new Ghostbuster movie kind of sucks dick. Apparently there's not a lot of ghost busting in it, and that's a big problem. But what if you did it to where they kind of took the old school the new school Ghostbusters method, like where the kids find the vehicle? What if you did it where like somebody is, searching, like make it into the future to the point where Marty and Doc are dead.
Yeah.
And you find the train, or you find whatever the last invention he made that was a time machine, and it comes with a manual, and whoever finds it reads the manual, and kind of Bill and Ted-ish almost.
Or a crossover. They find a phone booth.
Oh god. Artists, a British phone booth or an American?
Fucking Keanu Reeves shows up one day.
like honestly, the problem is if you would have to do a total reboot. But then again, I kind of feel like you would need to do a sequel that's attached to the original, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd have to be somebody still living in Hill Valley, and you'd have to have dialogue of like, you'd have to have people like, it's 2024 and we still don't even have cars. Like, but if they're setting it in 2024, then the original cast is theoretically still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could make a new one and include some of the original stuff, but you can't do it like Ghostbusters has done it now, where it's like the first one comes out and then you get essentially end game cameos from the original guys, and then from my understanding, the new one comes out and they're in a bunch of the movie, but the movie's not good. So I don't know. I don't think it's a property anybody should touch. I think if anybody were to be thinking about touching the Back to the Future property, the idea should be you have to write and design the entire trilogy.
They should wait at least for another 20 years, I think, maybe. Because
if you're gonna have Back to the Future, because of how brilliantly that movie kind of goes through the three movies, you have to, in my opinion, write the entire trilogy at once.
Yeah,
to make sure that
that's pretty much how 2 and 3 happened.
Exactly.
First one was good, and then the 2 and 3 actually just happened at the same time.
Yeah, I think you'd have to either write them all or make them all at once. Because if you make them all at once, then whoever you got playing Marty McFly stays the same age, more or less.
Yes, exactly.
And like, so I think it's a bad idea to ever even think about rebooting or making a sequel of it, at least for right now. But we'll see. There's rumors. I'm not, I hate Hollywood rumors, but there's rumors. All right. 5.5, 7.5, 6.5. There you go. You get a whole variety of different reviews. So you're welcome.
Enjoy.
I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for hanging out with us on this Friday night. We'll be back next week. Next week, guys, join us if you want to.
It's Fallout.
We're doing the entire season 1 of Fallout. If you're watching it, it's 8 episodes. Let us know. We're going to have panelists. You do not have to be on camera. Microphone is required. We'll have you talking, but we're going to review the entire season next week.
It came out yesterday, I think at like 7 or 8 o'clock yesterday, and I fucking watched eight episodes.
I think the rule of thumb, because we are doing all of Fallout next week. What do you guys think? If
Shogun for next...
see, my concern is Shogun's Crimson Sky episode is going to be a lot to talk about. As far as so the option is we skip Shogun next week and do the final 2 episodes the week after.
That's
and then next week can just be Fallout based.
That would be good.
And that way we know.
I think Crimson Sky is going to be kind of like
you have to include both of them. Yeah.
Well, I know we're all going to watch it next week, but I feel like maybe just doing the final 2 episodes is the finale episode for us on it. And then, we'll see what we're doing from there. Like, I'm not saying we're going to do a constant TV show, but we'll obviously be filling it. And then, of course, soon we'll be doing a bullshit episode. I think very soon. I think the end of the month. Maybe the episode after next week, a couple weeks from now. we'll do a bullshit episode, which is going to probably more or less be everything from movies, video games to wrestling and everything in between. So, yeah, next week will be Fallout, and I think tentatively for the week after we'll do a bullshit episode. And what we'll try to do on that one too is get, you know, some videos and stuff we can maybe watch on stream. Watching trailers and stuff is 50-50, getting copyright strikes. But we'll get it figured out.
You know what?
I've been seeing live streamers watch trailers
and they're flipping them,
no
right?
sound.
No, they're flipping them. They're flipping them.
Really?
I haven't seen that. I just seen that they're muted. They're just watching the trailer and it's muted.
See, that would drive me nuts if I'm trying to watch, like, even if I had to watch something backwards, I'd rather not watch it at all.
I was seeing that people were actually flipping screens, so they were watching Raw and SmackDown and the WrestleMania clips, and because they were reversed, they were able to play it.
Yeah, but I still think, especially wrestling, I still think they go after you for that shit.
Yeah,
WWE. They're pettier than Nintendo.
WWE does not fuck around with their content. Well, that's because they've amassed an entire library. So it makes sense for a company like WWE to go, no, we don't want people bootleg. But I mean, come on, dude, go on YouTube and type in any, like, go type in Stone Cold versus Rikishi storyline. You will be able to find all of the like put together in a 2-hour special. You'll find all of the promos, some of the matches, including the pay-per-views. Like, it's all there.
Did you see somebody was like, hey, do you notice why Undertaker was there at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns?
Should have been Stone
He has
Cold.
something against all of the bloodline. So they were showing Undertaker versus everybody from the bloodline and all their fathers and all their.
I think we all know why Taker was there, and it was to get a WrestleMania pop. It should have been Stone Cold.
Well, no, they're saving him for a different day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, but WrestleMania, like, I mean, I guess it's already the biggest WrestleMania it's going to be, right?
They're trying to spread out the pops for, they're trying to spread it out now. And
what they need to do then is when The Rock eventually does come back, then you got to have Stone Cold come out. And what then needs to happen is those two need to have the feud. Like, let the old guys brawl.
But it'll probably be more of a cinematic, hopefully, instead of actual.
I feel like I'm the only one that
can't fight.
I feel like I'm the only one that actually enjoyed the Boneyard. That's an interesting concept. Two former wrestlers who went into movies respectively doing a cinematic movie style match.
Yeah. Because they could take breaks. They could fucking, get their fucking breath.
Well, much like I thought the Boneyard match was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, do something like that, but even
the
more
Bray
Hollywood.
Wyatt, even the Bray Wyatt and John Cena ones were fucking good.
Yeah,
and you know who started all that, right? Matt Hardy in fucking TNA.
Oh, with the broken Matt?
No, with the whatever he called it, his fucking thing about the House of Hardy bullshit.
I don't know. I think that would be a cool concept if you had Stone Cold and Rock bring their rivalry back, but their main match isn't a live event. It's a movie style pre-recorded match.
It starts out in the ring, and then as they go back, it becomes the video that they pre-recorded.
The only thing that they can't do, but I think would be fucking great, is like they go to do some crazy stunt, and you can clearly tell it's their stuntmen. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Like, oh no, Stone Cold throws the Rock off of this thing, and it's like the Rock stuntman. Like Stone Cold stuntman is a chick. Like, just fucking do silly shit like that, but it'll never happen. All right, everybody, we're out. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Fallout, entire first season. Love you.
Bye.